Well, the mission of the Union Parish Library is to provide education, information, recreation, and culture for the people of Union Parish. And we always try to interpret that mission in many different ways. One of the things that we've done now for the last several years is we've participated in the National Youth Art Month. And we ask students all over our parish, and some students that even live or maybe go to school outside the boundaries of our parish, but either have grandparents or family that live here in the parish, to submit artwork to us. We were fortunate to have the Union Parish Arts Council here serve as our judges this year. They had a very difficult job. They had to select first, second, and third place in several mediums of art. And all of the students were very talented, which made the judging very difficult, as you could imagine. But what the purpose of this whole exhibit really is twofold. One is really just to encourage students to pursue their passions. And if art is one of those passions in a way that they can creatively express themselves, that gives them an outlet. And when students have a really positive outlet, they are less inclined to become pursue negative outlets and outcomes. And so that's one of the purposes of our art. And one of the things that we feel like is that sometimes students that have a propensity to art may not be students that are often recognized. And so we want to be a part of really recognizing those students. The second part is that we want all people in our parish to be exposed to museum quality types of education. Last month we did Black History Month, which was embedded in a rich history of African Americans. This month our exhibit focuses on art and youth art, and our books, all the books that we pull to highlight are really ways that people can engage in art and learn from art and artists of our past. Next month we move on to a new type of thing, but one of the things that we find is that a lot of students that come here for our after-school programs, or even just come during the week or on the weekend with their families, they may not have another opportunity to see these types of things and be exposed to this. They might not ever leave the parish, and so when we bring it here, I think it makes it something that everyone that lives in our parish can see and learn from.
I'm David Taylor. I volunteer as an art teacher for the Union Christian Academy here in Farmerville. This is the first year I've done this. I started last September. Oh, this has been a very, very, very good. The way they have laid out all the art here, this library, it's a lot different than it was when I showed up here. I actually displayed art here back in 1971 or so as an artist, and this place is amazing now. It's really quite interesting. It's full of color. The fact that they have kids coming here and participating in art, it's a great thing. It really is. My wife, who is a teacher at UCA, asked me to help some young gentlemen who had an interest in drawing. As rather than doing some type of activity in PE or something, they wanted to participate in some kind of art activity. So, having had a background in art, I volunteered, and so once a week I show up at the school and we go over techniques on how to draw. Why is art important in school? Okay, art is a lot like any other subject that's being taught. When I was taught art, my teacher put a lot of emphasis on the respect of the subject and how you treat each other in that subject. Like, everybody starts out at a different level of understanding, especially in the world of art. And if you don't respect each other and for their level of what ability they have, then they'll never get a chance to learn and to be a part of art. Art gives each person a chance to express themselves, and giving them that opportunity to move at their own rate. opens up a world to them that they wouldn't get if everybody was disrespectful of each other. And that's the same thing with any subject that's taught in school. So respect of each other, of the teacher, of the process, it's all important. It's all based around something that my art teacher taught me back when I was in high school, was that it's all about respecting each other and the subject of what you're learning, in this case art.
I'm Lisa Bruce. I'm the branch manager here at Union Parish Library, and Stephanie always has a project for me. It's kind of scary when she gets quiet because I know that, you know, something's going to take place, and it usually involves me and paint. So I happened to make the mistake of telling her one day, you could paint on glass with acrylic paint. Oh, really? And I suppose this has been painted ever since, and that's been several years ago. But I'm just a copyist. I'm not really an artist. I can look at something and copy it, and I do enjoy it. I think that's the part of school teaching, the only part of school teaching I probably miss. I always like doing bulletin boards and art activities with the kids, and I always tried to make sure that they had those. I think that's just as important as reading and math or anything else, is to let them express their creative side. But I love working here, believe it or not, I do. And I always enjoy my little projects that Stephanie lets me do.
My name is Jacob Sandage, and I love art. I've been doing it since 3rd grade. I express art through things I've been suffering through life and from past. I just enjoy art because it just relieves stress, and I do it all the time. I'm from here. My dad's from West Monroe. I go there sometimes. I go to UCA, UCA High School. I'm in 8th grade. This one, I had like a feeling for a friend that never. I had a friend, but it's not my friend quite anymore. But I had a feeling for a friend. So I drew a picture, but I decided to change it around and make it to a different art piece of my own work. I haven't figured it out myself, but I feel like this was something that was stuck in my mind and wanting to draw out. I described the mood, something from the past of somebody suffering through somebody, but I just expressed it out by drawing. My style would be, I would try to draw realistic and try to draw something else at the same time. Like manga and realistic drawings. I just feel like whenever I listen to it, I just have some kind of expression that I feel about it, and I think about it and it's stuck in my head. So I just draw it out so I don't have it stuck in my head anymore.
My name's Elise Johnston. I was born and raised here. I go to Union Christian Academy in Farmerville. I'm in 10th grade, so I'm a sophomore, and I love doing art. I like doing art because it expresses myself. I've always loved playing with colors. They've always made me happy some way. And I like creating my own things. Well, the story behind this one, I don't really have a name for it. I guess we'll call it Hello. Well, my best friend Sabrina, she was trying to call me and my phone died, my cell phone. And I'm a teenager, I need my phone. So I didn't know what to do. So I remember back then they used to have these old-timey phones. Their phones would never die once they got unplugged. And I looked up one on my computer and I just kind of looked at that. No reason for the colors, but then this is watercolor, all the colors, and then I used pen, like a Sharpie pen. And then my mom later, like a couple months ago, or after, she got me some stamps. I put that on it. So this one took me a little longer to do because of all the color transitions and the patterns. And this one I just sketched out on my new sketchbook that my mom got me for Christmas. And she got me some new watercolors, so I thought I'd use those. And I don't know, I wrote some Bible verses about faith to move mountains, so that's why I named this one. So, good job. painted for, this is supposed to be the Darbon, and I painted it one time before and then I lost it, so I repainted it for a final project. This is the lake, and then these are like the trees around it, and it's just kind of like a view of looking out on it. This one I just got in a painting mood and I found this one and I liked it. I wanted to mess like more with abstract, so I decided to do this one. I like cactus because like they're really fun to paint because they can be all different shapes and styles. This one I painted in art class because I wanted to like try more with abstract because this is like acrylics and then this one's oil, because like the abstract I could just get it to like make the cool background, and I knew I could blend well with the oils. Since we live in Farmerville and that's such a big deal that I wanted to do something with a watermelon.
Well, my name's Aurora. I was born in October 14, 2004, and I use art to help me a lot. It helps me see my way about things and helps me with my moods and all that. And I had suffered from heart murmur, so I've been in a hospital a couple of times. I got in a wreck on the first day of school, but other than that I'm doing fine. Here is one of my art pictures that we were doing in art class, but I never got to finish it at the end of the year. But I'm actually shocked that it won first place. We were like doing like box art. It's where we take a picture of ourselves, we put this little grid on top, we slowly draw the boxes of what we see, and then like it slowly starts to form, and then after that we would paint it in different shades. Like we'll use blue, like we'll do like for the light part, light blue, lightish, darkish, dark blue somewhere there, and then darker blue, like black and all that. My second place was what I did in my free time in class. We weren't doing nothing, so I decided, hey, why not just do anything? So I started drawing it, and then I started watching on my phone like this cool evolution game, and it started out with this like artist drawing this down, but like he didn't do it completely, so like I redrew it with more fluff on it instead of it being like just a regular line. And then I thought, why not give it a creepy vibe, like a hero versus villain. My third place is what I did in art class. It's called stenciling. The eye was stenciled because like, since I'm a big fan of How to Train Your Dragon, I like it. Toothless always made me laugh up and cackle a lot. So I drew Toothless. It started out of a rough start of like, oh my goodness, where do I put the scales? But since I can't do scales yet, I sticked with stenciling, and then the fluff that I did like up here, but put it down here. The eye was a whole mess. I had to erase, restart, erase. I maybe used up a pencil or two. This is my other pieces of art. I did this in my art class. We were doing patterns of like, let's say like from one point of view we had like this non-thick sheet, but we would draw like patterns on it, on the back of it, then we would stencil it on the front and then like cover on the back, the front side, and like make it black to where it appears on here. And then we started coloring in different patterns and shapes. And then like down here, I made this for my mother in class and my art class, which
turned out very well, didn't it?
yeah, it was for Valentine's and I couldn't get it on there on time, so I gave it to her on Mother's Day. And this is Gino. This is our scratch art, I think, or etching. Well, we started out with like a cube and all that, and we started digging into it with like a V-like tool like this, and we would dig into it and draw things. Our teacher told us to draw a picture, so I drew Gino from a game, and I think it turned out pretty okay.
My name is Serenity J. Michael. I'm Aurora's mother. She attends Sterlington Middle School. She's a very great student, and she was trying to get into the accelerated art program. She does great work.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of her. She's always done some kind
Since
of art.
elementary.
She did. If she wasn't painting rocks, she was coloring on my walls. If she wasn't, there was always art somewhere in the house, be it little stuff or big stuff.
Always hid it on the wall.
So I'm Sister Larson. I am from Utah. We're missionaries here in Farmerville. We love to come to the library and volunteer with helping set up exhibits and anything that they really need. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I'm Sister Baril. I'm from Montreal, Canada. And yeah, I also really love art, and just coming here to help is just such a big blessing for us.
Yeah, so we set up each of the youth art in different categories. We made the board for the exhibit, and we went through and kind of categorized and tried to tie in the books with it as well, the art books. So yeah. Okay, so I grew up always doing art. My mom's an artist, and so I plan on somehow studying art in one form or another. I love just being able to express creativity through art. It's really cool to see like everybody's art and how everybody has their own style. Everybody's different, and so I just love art in every way.
Yeah, and for myself, it's my dad that is the artist in the family. So I've always loved looking at his drawing that he did when he was younger. I also really love doing art, but I also really love to study it, like through all the ages, and to go to museum and just visit places where art has a big place in the city. So yeah.